Hey everyone, this is Dr. Steve Orma, and in today's video, I'm going to answer a question from a viewer who left this as a comment from one of my previous videos. And his question is, what are my thoughts on using CBD while you're going through this treatment process, while you're going through CBT-i or the treatment process that I outlined in a recent series of videos where I talked about in detail, how I work with my clients to help them overcome insomnia, and I kind of broke it down to each week. It's a very structured process, very effective process, and so. But I want to answer this question today because it's a very common question that comes up. So again, it's what are my thoughts on using CBD while you're also going through this process? Now, what I can say is CBD, whatever form it's in, CBD oil or whatever it is, and many other substances, drugs, legal or illegal, are used by people with insomnia very frequently. That includes, THC, marijuana, that includes alcohol, and other drugs that people might be taking. As a way to help to try to improve their sleep. I have a previous video where I talked about like supplements and herbals, things like melatonin and magnesium. So I'm not going to talk about that, but essentially the same principles are going to apply as I talked about in that video. But since CBD is so commonly used these days for insomnia and anxiety, that I thought it was a good question that I wanted to address. So there's a couple problems. So the quick answer to this is no, it's not a good idea. First of all, CBD and any sort of substance you take, let's say like whether it's legal or illegal, it may have a sedative effect. It may. CBD, to my knowledge, isn't really well studied, but it particularly hasn't been studied for use with insomnia. So it might have some research behind it in terms of it, calming you down or sedating you or helping you sleep. I'm not familiar on the research, but either way, it doesn't really matter in terms of this question. So whether you're taking CBD, CBN, THC, marijuana, alcohol, any of these types of drugs to, either help you sleep or to help you get past the insomnia, my answer is don't do it. And if you are doing it, then safely come off of it, because, and these are the reasons why. So the first one is, with these kinds of things like CBD, it's hard to know if it's helping at all with insomnia, right? Even if it helps with sleep, and it's been proven to do that, that's different than when you have insomnia, which is a problem, an underlying core problem with your sleep. And, to my knowledge, there isn't any evidence or much evidence that shows that it can help you overcome insomnia. But let's say maybe it can sedate you or calm you down, and then that helps you sleep in some way. There's really no way to know if it's actually working or not, okay? Because there's something called psychological dependence, okay? So even if physically CBD or something like it is actually helping you sleep or giving you some positive benefits for your sleep or the insomnia, it instills a belief that you don't have the ability within you to sleep, right? Because if you believed 100%, I have the ability to sleep, or I have the ability to get past my insomnia on my own, within my own body, then you wouldn't need to take anything because you have the ability, and therefore it's just a matter of getting that ability back. But if you're taking any kind of substance to help you sleep, CBD or otherwise, then, at some level in your mind, you believe that you need it, that you can't sleep without it, or you can't sleep well without it, and that it's helping you in some way with this problem to sleep better or to solve the problem, when in fact it will not solve the problem. So what that does So why is that a problem? Well, even if what you're getting is the placebo effect, right? So the placebo effect is essentially a well-documented phenomenon in medicine that where like you're taking a drug, but the drug, there's nothing in the drug. It's a placebo, meaning it's just sugar or something like that. But you're getting improvement. And the reason you're getting improvement is your belief that the pill or whatever you're taking is actually improving your sleep, when in fact, it's not at all. It's just your belief. And your beliefs have a really powerful effect on your body, physically, emotionally. So it's the belief that I'm taking this thing and man, I'm going to sleep really well tonight because I took this substance, and then you sleep well. Well, that's the placebo effect. Okay. Meaning like you can get a positive effect even if the physically, the substance isn't having any effect on your body. Now, why is that a problem? Because people say, well, whether it works either way, if it's working, what's the problem? Well, it's that psychological dependence. If you're going through CBT-i or this treatment process I've laid out and you're still taking CBD, part of you is going through this process to solve the problem, but part of you is still you're using a crutch essentially, or you're using an external substance to sleep. So when you get improvements, you won't know, are those improvements coming from the treatment process, from the behavioral changes I'm making, from the shifts in my mindset that I'm making, or are they coming from the CBD? And you won't know because you're doing them both at the same time. And you're going to give credit to the CBD, or at least some credit, because anytime you're making gains, you're going to think, well, I don't know, I took the CBD last night and I slept really well, but you don't know, was that because you've made these behavioral changes, or is that the CBD, or is that the placebo effect, or is it a combination? You don't know. And so therefore, you never know what is actually improving the sleep. And you never build the confidence within yourself that you have the ability to sleep on your own. And that's the main problem outside of the physical effects of whether CBD helps or not, or whether a substance helps or not. It's the psychological dependence that's the real killer here. It's that you never can become fully confident in your own ability to sleep. And people who are normal sleepers, healthy sleepers, or if you were one of those people at one point before the insomnia hit, you didn't think about sleep. You didn't need any sort of external substance to help you sleep. You just slept. You trusted you would sleep and you slept. We all have the ability. The core thing here is we all have the ability to sleep. We don't lose that ability to sleep. At a core level, at a biological level, insomnia is not I've lost my ability to sleep. It's that something has gotten in the way of my sleep. And I've talked about in previous videos in detail what actually creates insomnia. It's not you've lost your ability to sleep. It's behaviors and beliefs that have set in to become a pattern, that have generated an association with your bed that then creates insomnia. And what the treatment process is reversing that and establishing, behaviors that are going to be healthy and that are going to bring your normal, healthy ability to sleep back. And when you do that, you start becoming more and more confident in your ability to sleep and ultimately get your sleep back, and the insomnia is gone. And now you trust your ability to sleep because you didn't use a substance. So as I said in the week 2 video for the process, week 2 is where we start tapering people off any medications, whether they're prescription or over the counter, any supplements, and something like CBD or THC or marijuana or anything like that. We start to tape you off that in a healthy way, in a safe way, while we're adding and making all these behavioral key changes to your sleep that'll actually get to the root of the problem and get rid of the insomnia and rebuild your confidence in your ability to sleep. And you cannot do that, in my experience, while you're still relying on a substance to help you sleep for the reasons that I've laid out here. Okay, so hopefully that's a pretty clear answer to this viewer's question. I do not think taking really anything as you're going. Now, it's common that people come in at the beginning of the treatment taking a substance. That might be CBD, it might be alcohol, it might be Ambien, it might be Seroquel, it might be any number of medications or supplements or drugs, illegal or otherwise, that they're taking or in combination to help them sleep or help them get past the insomnia. But really on day 8, the very first beginning of week 2, that's when we start to taper people off these substances in a safe way, an effective way, in a very structured way. And we do that in conjunction with your prescriber as well. Or if you don't have a prescriber, if it's something like CBD, then you still get a protocol for and guidance for how you come off of that safely. We start that in like the very beginning of the program. So ultimately, the goal is to come off of that while we're adding the changes and the shifts in your sleep that will actually address the root of the insomnia until we get you completely off those things, and then keep continuing to improve the sleep until the insomnia is gone, and then you're good to go. And at that point, because you were able to get your sleep back without the substance, you have way more confidence in your ability to sleep, as opposed to if you kept taking the CBD, you wouldn't fully trust that it was the CBT-i or the treatment process that solved the problem, or that you did it. You would continually think, yeah, this probably helped, or you wouldn't fully trust that it was you. And that's really critical. What I tell people in my program is it's totally up to them, right? No one is forced to come off any medications or substances, and it's a personal choice. It's your body, it's your sleep, you decide. But I do kind of give people this perspective, and I give the reasons why it's a really important idea to come off. And what I say is, look, the only way you'll know is if you completely get rid of the substances, restore the sleep naturally. And then when you do that and you have your confidence back that you have the ability with you to sleep, then if you want to add back something like CBD because maybe it enhances your sleep, or maybe it helps with something else, then fine. But at least you know that, regardless of what the CBD is doing or not, you know that you have the ability to sleep without it. And that's really powerful to have that confidence for the rest of your life, knowing that you have the ability and you don't have to rely on any other kind of external substance for you to sleep. Okay. So I hopefully gave you a very clear, detailed, and specific reasons, a specific answer to that question. And again, if you have questions, if you like this video and you're on YouTube, just press the like button, and you can also subscribe to this channel, Put Insomnia to Bed. And that way you get alerts every time I do a video. I do one of these videos every week. And if you have any comments or questions, you can leave them below like this viewer did. And you can see I just responded directly to his question. It was a really good question. And if you have a question that I haven't addressed yet around insomnia or this process, then leave it below and I can do a future video just for you. All right. So hope you have a good day, and we'll see you next time.